All right, welcome back to the 5th episode of the Talk Nerd to Me podcast.
And this is definitely the most dramatic change from podcast to podcast.
No, it's not.
No. You don't think?
We went from a car to a table.
Oh, that's true. We had a room.
This is the same table.
That's true. That's fair. But we do have completely different gear.
We do. Well, no, not completely.
There's a few. No, you're right. There's some similarities.
Still running one of the same cameras.
Yeah. I can't even call it the main camera anymore because...
It's not the main camera anymore.
No.
The main camera technically is my phone.
That's true. Good old iPhone X.
10.
Okay, God, listen, we talked about this. I'll get it right one of these days.
One of these days, I'm sure. So yeah, we're running a whole new setup here. So we've got 3 cameras around this right now. So if you're listening on anything other than on YouTube, you're totally missing out on these great visuals.
You should definitely check it out on YouTube. Hopefully the audio is a lot better.
Yeah.
So we'll see about
audio
that.
should definitely be a lot better. Okay, let's just talk about the whole new setup. I want to just get this out of the way.
That is a little bit of our topic.
So our establishing shot out here is an iPhone 10.
Yes, and you're recording in 1080?
I'm recording 1080-30.
30. And the reason why we're recording 30 is because
we've got one camera here that just isn't a good camera.
Yeah, it's okay.
It just doesn't.
We're not judging it too hard.
We won't judge it too hard. Okay. Anyway, one camera just can't record 24 frames per second for some reason.
Yep.
Well, because we were going to do everything in 24.
Yep.
So recording 1080-30 here, recording 1080-30 behind Kirk over here.
Yep.
On your Sony, what is it?
A33. It's like 8 years old, 7 years old.
So
my other camera broke.
So that's doing the job over here right now. Behind me, getting shot of Kirk, is my Canon T6i.
And I think going forward, hopefully within the month, we'll be replacing the A33 with a SL2.
Yeah, and we'll probably move the A33 over to an establishing shot instead of the iPhone.
Then we're stuck on 30 still.
We are.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out at some point. Maybe we'll pick up someone's cheap T3i or something that I see selling online all the time.
Yeah, I mean that'll do it. Are they limited to 30?
I'm sure they do 24.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's less.
True. It's weird. Maybe that is 24 and not 30.
Well, now everything's just going to look weird.
It's okay. If it looks weird, it wasn't my fault. We searched this.
Sure it is.
So that's for our cameras. And then we're moving on to our audio setup, which this is a bit of a fluke deal that we got.
Oh, man, insane. This was huge. This came through last night.
Yeah, like literally last night I was online. And thank God for search engine optimization and like Buys keeping track of our things. Because
and Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. I was like researching a shit ton of stuff about mics. And lo and behold, Facebook Marketplace was like, hey, here's a mic that just got posted for sale. And this is the Blue Yeti Pro. Now, a lot of people use the Blue Yeti. This is the Pro version with the XLR jack. But we got it for 75 Canadian. And they retail right now for 300 Canadian.
Yeah.
Or
that's
400 if you buy it locally. So, which is random, but...
That's weird.
It's $330 on sale for 300 right now on Amazon. So it's $70 more to buy it locally.
Okay.
Yeah. But, so hopefully it's a significant improvement.
Yeah, so we're running that, and we're actually recording in GarageBand, so we're actually using something other than... Because before, I've just used the QuickTime audio player.
Oh, really?
That's what I've recorded through.
Oh, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that.
I just pop that open, record it, and away you go.
Yeah,
you don't know anything, because I've been running everything late. So.
You have. We'll get that sorted out. But GarageBand, I also have the Adobe Suite, so I do have Audition. And I downloaded it, and I was like, man, this is a lot to learn right now. I'll just use GarageBand. So it works fine. And then we're going to process it in Final Cut afterwards. So this won't be just stock mic audio. It'll be a little bit of processing, but not much. And from our test, it sounds so much better.
It sounds wicked.
Yeah, it sounds great. Makes it sound sexy.
I'm actually really surprised, but I was doing just a couple little voiceover things, and I was using my, the Rode Video Mic Pro. And I was like... And I was just using that for a voiceover because my iRig that I was using for a couple other audios just kind of just died on me.
Yeah.
And I had nothing else to use.
That was it?
So I just took that, just popped that into my computer, and away you go. And it's like, I had really clean, crisp audio too, which I was really impressed by.
I'm thinking that a lot of the audio problems, I mean, it didn't help we were in a car, but I feel like that would have helped because it's nice and compact. But the iRig, I think, might have been giving us a bit of the noise and stuff that we had before. It wasn't too bad.
We might have had our gain turned up too much, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. We're learning as we go, and
well, we were only using that for one of the mics. The other mic wasn't going through the iRig.
That's true, and they sounded the same.
Yeah.
So maybe it's how we were processing it. But we'll let you know. I mean, maybe this turns out crap too.
Hopefully it turns out good.
I think it will. It sounds great. So we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll do some videos of all the stuff
it's a lot of it's like a big challenge trying to set up all like whole new setup. We also got like 2 big lights on us here. Like this.
Yeah, I made those a while ago. We can't really show you, but they're ugly. We don't want to show you, but they work really well.
Yeah.
And
they're bright.
They are. Yeah, and it cost me like the bulb was the expensive part. I think in total each light cost me like $30, $40.
Yeah, just a few PVC fittings.
Yeah, and it works. So
I like how you had the PVC fittings just screwed together instead of glued.
They were glued.
It's a nice touch.
And then I realized that it was really heavy, and I'd be recording, and the light would fall on my head. So I was like, time to screw those in, and it kind of helped. I didn't screw them all in, so if you move it, some stuff pops off. I ran out of screws, and that base is all kinds of messed up.
Oh man, that's something else. It is.
Oh yeah, but so what we're doing now, I think it's gonna be a lot better. I think it'll keep everything up to par to what we want.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, especially when we get the third camera, or the new camera.
This will be huge too, like actually getting some different angles and stuff if we ever get like a guest.
Yeah, and this can record like
all around.
So
yeah,
it wouldn't be the best, but it'd be an improvement, and it would work.
Yeah.
So
we could always set up a second mic too. I mean, we have lots of other mic options that we could use if we wanted to.
Yeah. Our upgrade path, sort of, the next thing for audio that would get would be an actual interface.
Yeah.
So, and that'll, I'm looking at getting a Rode interface, so that would let us have two XLR ports to start. And then depending on which one we get, you can add in their little modulars, which are great, and expand it. So we'd be able to get 4 or 6, depending on which version we go with.
But for sure.
I think the Rode, I don't know, actually I can't remember. It's like something 40 or 44, but it's pretty good. And when we get that or look at it, we'll go more in depth into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our setup. I think it's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And
we'll find out soon.
We'll also find out how difficult it is to stitch everything together in post.
I think Final Cut makes it pretty easy.
Yeah.
I've seen stuff on how to do it in Premiere. I've never really looked into it. It's just popped up and I've seen it. But like, I think you can do it the same way in Final Cut, where you can just kind of like set it all up. So this is a multi-camera setup, and you just click here. This is one camera.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've actually I've seen that specifically because I've seen the little advertisement for the dials that you see everywhere. Have you seen those on Facebook or YouTube?
Oh yeah,
the editing dials.
Yep.
Well, I watched a video where somebody was actually using them, and they actually had the buttons set up for the cameras, which is pretty cool. So I mean, imagine you can do it.
You can do the same thing on your keyboard. So that's probably what we'll end up doing for sure.
See how quickly that goes, and as time goes on, we'll get better at it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's something. I mean, like anything, especially when it comes to content creation and like stuff like that. I mean, you get better with time.
And it's just that's the biggest thing is putting in the time.
Yeah.
To get better.
Oh, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
That we're coming across right now is putting in the time because we both have weird work schedules.
Yeah. So, but we're getting there, and I think the more consistent that we get, then everything will grow.
Oh, for sure.
So that's what we're kind of hoping for. And it depends. The podcast could turn into something completely different than we started with.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out as we go. And right now we're definitely focusing more on the tech side of things. My videos that I want to make personally, I'll probably go in depth into some of the creation. I'm going to be starting school in less than 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What's the date? 20. So yeah, 2 weeks time.
Nice.
I'll be starting. And so part of that is actually a lot of videos throughout the schooling, and I'll be posting on that. So it'll be cool because we'll kind of be able to keep track of how we improve and how it goes, how we get going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The fact that that's school based on this stuff is going to be really based on all kinds of like video creation. That'll be something.
Yeah, and
really
like
cool.
The final project is your portfolio. Like I have to have a portfolio of work that I've done, and my idea is I already have to do half of it anyway, like post online. Like there's viral video challenges and stuff like that. So I kind of want to put everything I do online and maybe help people learn as I learn.
Yeah.
Or if I find something cool, I think it'd be fresh in my mind when I learn it, and it'll help me retain that information if I try to teach other people. So
yeah,
I think that'd be pretty sweet to get into.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so new cameras, new audio, recording it with different software. I'm using Final Cut Pro now, which I wasn't. I was trying to use Adobe, which is fine. I'm gonna have to use Adobe anyway. I think
for some stuff probably.
Yeah. So for school, not everybody's gonna have MacBooks and any collaborative work. I'll be able to use Final Cut for my own personal projects.
The fact that not everyone's gonna have Macs.
Yeah.
For creative.
We're fanboys.
No, but for creative stuff,
it is amazing.
Everyone creative has Macs. They always use Mac, even if they don't use Final Cut. They're using.
Yeah, I noticed that, and
right, they're still using Mac.
And I don't even understand the logic behind that when people pay so much for like an iMac Pro.
Yep.
When you're not using Mac software, because that's what makes it so much better.
Yep.
And
well, okay, let's just go back to the example the other day when you were doing a test video.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
We're gonna talk about it.
I was forced into Final Cut Pro. I'll say I'm using a slightly. Well,
You're welcome.
It's pretty old. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet. I'm using a mid 2012 MacBook Pro. Now I have this MacBook Pro, and I was specifically looking for this one because I was in the market for a used MacBook, and this is the last version you could kind of easily upgrade.
Yeah.
So it's a bit slow, and right now it's only got 4 gigs of RAM in it. I'm gonna be putting in as much as I can, but it's slow, and I was trying to render out a 45-second video, just a quick little video of this setup to send it to you, so that you can see what it was, and it was in 1080p, 30 frames per second, like nothing fancy at all. I didn't do anything with it. It was just like put it in the video, stitch it together, and send it to you.
Yeah.
And it was taking an hour to render out using Adobe Premiere Pro, and I was like, oh my god. So I was like, dude, I gotta figure something out. He's like, just get Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, just use Final Cut.
And so I downloaded Final Cut Pro.
I'll export our podcast in less time than you were taking for this 45-second clip.
Yes. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. So I downloaded Final Cut Pro. Meanwhile, the entire time, and this wasn't helping, but the entire time I was letting it render in Adobe, I was like, probably by the time I get this downloaded and stuff, it'll be done.
It'll be done, yeah.
So I downloaded Final Cut Pro.
It was about 3 gigs.
Yeah, and installed it. I do have it really fast in here, so it didn't take that long. Mm-hmm. But I downloaded it, I installed it, I started playing with it, watched a couple videos on my phone about it, set it up how I liked, put the audio or the video clips back into Final Cut, re-edited it the exact same way I did in Premiere, exported it out, and there's still 20 minutes left to go on Premiere Pro. I was like, what the hell? So, and not to mention the timeline was useless in Premiere Pro. I was dealing with it for the small videos I made, and I didn't really notice it because I was using my iPad for the most part. Yeah. I was using my iPad and oh my god, I can't remember the name of the software. The best editing software. LumaFusion, thank you. Yeah. So I was using LumaFusion, and that's wicked fast. So I come back to my MacBook, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And apparently it's gotten better recently, which...
Oh, they've improved it, yeah.
Yeah.
Optimized it more for Mac.
I don't know.
Apparently not.
But I mean, yes, it's older hardware, but the fact that Final Cut just sliced through that so fast,
You probably export it in a minute.
I was like, is it done? Because it doesn't come up. You have to go and look for background processes.
Okay, you got it set so it doesn't come up.
Yeah, I'm probably going to change that just so I can know.
I say mine, as soon as it's done, it just pops up on the screen. There's your video.
Yeah, and it didn't do that. And I was like, is it done? What's going on here? And I was trying to look for the video, and it was just on my desktop already. I was
it's just
that was
there.
Fast. Yeah. So, and then I sent it to you, and I let Premiere finish. I'm pretty sure it fried my battery almost because my computer got
battery trouble.
Really hot. Yeah. For some reason, I can't charge past 97%, and it just decides to shut off when not plugged in randomly. And I'm blaming Premiere Pro.
Welcome to Final Cut.
Yeah. I'm sticking with it. Now the sad part is I don't know what I'm gonna do in school when I have to use Premiere. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to build a PC. I don't want to do that right now. But. Yeah, I don't know why people would pay for the iMac Pro and then not use the software.
Not use Final Cut, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has its benefits, its ups and downs for sure, but...
If anyone needs any reason to use Final Cut over Adobe...
Yeah.
Okay. One of the best video creators out there right now who shoots everything in 8K on red Red Weapons, Marquez Brownlee.
He uses Final Cut.
He uses Final Cut on an iMac Pro.
Yep.
18 core Xenon processor.
Oh, he's been putting in. So you seen that video about the insane rig that he was?
Oh yeah, the.
I don't know the name of it.
The robotic.
Yeah, it's like a gimbal, like on
robot
steroids.
arm, yeah.
It's a robot arm, and I've noticed that he's
used a lot.
He must have bought one.
Oh yeah.
Or they give it to him or something because his latest videos have such insane angles.
Oh man.
And he's able to stitch all that together in Final Cut, and I think he has some of the. I mean, he does the best production value in my opinion in the tech world.
He does the best production value on YouTube.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a video on YouTube that has better production than what he has.
I found some life channels lately, and their video production might not be. I think one of the big things is like they're in Australia or somewhere crazy that has just amazing weather and amazing scenes, and so it looks.
So the scenery is just always amazing.
Yeah, so that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But there's some pretty high quality content being put out, and hopefully we'll get on board with that as soon as we can.
We just need to get some more gear
and get up to a 1DX. I could never see myself using 1DX. I don't think my arm could hold it.
I could.
I couldn't. I just can't do it. It's too heavy.
I mean, you've seen my setup now.
Yeah, it's not light.
It's not light.
No, it's not. But it's not 1DX heavy. Like the battery in a 1DX is about as heavy as my camera is right now.
Yeah.
As heavy as my Sony A5100 was.
Yeah.
Probably about that.
Probably.
I would say. And it's funny because.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about getting a battery grip.
Yeah. Does that take the same batteries then?
Yeah, it takes 2 batteries.
Oh, it takes 2 of them.
So it doubles your battery life.
Cool.
Right?
I wasn't sure.
And then you've got the grip, so then you can easily flip over to portrait mode. You get better portrait pictures.
And if we're doing professional stuff, it just looks more professional.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. But, well, arguably. But I think that'd be a good investment. So right now you only have one battery, though.
I only have one battery. I need to get some more batteries.
You need like 4 at that point.
That's the thing. I was looking at some cheap batteries.
I think that's all I have in that. Like one of my batteries is.
And that's the thing. If I paired a cheap battery with my good battery that I got from Canon, I know that I'm going to get. Well, because I know my Canon battery lasts a pretty long time. Like I was doing over the summer. I was shooting a lot of video for soccer games, and my camera was on for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was on for an hour and a half shooting 1080-30 video. Constant, like a lot, right? Yeah. I was just doing little clips, but it was a lot of it, like half the game. Like I'd sit down and have 45 minutes of footage, right? To go through, and then I might take some stills and stuff too, and my battery lasted.
Yeah, so
right. It would come up and say my battery is low by the end of it, but my battery lasted.
Yeah.
So if I added like another battery, just like something, just enough to have something there to back it up,
you'd be fine.
I know that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
And the only reason why
there's bigger projects that we want to get into too.
Yeah, like I do want to get into some bigger stuff. I think in the future, I would love to do something documentary length, maybe like a smaller 25 to 30 minute, but like
I like to do a short doc.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe up to 20 minutes, just a little short doc. And to start, I'd love to get into that.
I like to do some like tourism type videos and stuff too.
Yeah,
I think that's stuff we really need to shoot
for sure. And I mean, I'm going to be traveling some more still.
Yeah.
in the future, but and maybe more with work, we'll see. But that whole idea failed miserably for this trip because I smashed everything.
I was expecting to see some videos starting to get uploaded shortly after you left.
Do you want to know how much video I got? I got like the whole first couple days.
Yeah.
And then I was stitching that together in LumaFusion, but like our first few days were insane. Like I didn't sleep. It was like I was dead. And now I can like really appreciate people who do it, because I know there's people who just go to travel for their videos and come right back home. I don't know, like how. It's so exhausting. You get jet lag on top of like no sleep.
Well, that's the thing too. If you do it in a way, like we went to Florida last Christmas, my sister, my parents, and like we were just hanging out, and like at that time, like we spent a lot of time literally just like hanging around. Like we went, we did a bunch of stuff. We went to like Space Center, a bunch of stuff at like Universal and stuff. Did all kinds of stuff.
Kind of chilling out.
But there was also just like a lot of chill time, just hanging out in the room and stuff like that. And that's what you kind of need to do if you really want to do video stuff, right? But it's hard to do when you're traveling for other people.
Yeah, exactly. And like our first leg of the trips was a lot of just go. When we got to Spain, and in Barcelona, we were staying a little bit north of Barcelona. That was a lot more chill. Like I definitely had a lot more time to do stuff then, but I had already smashed the camera.
Yeah.
And I already smashed the phone, and I had to buy a new phone. Like it was bad. But and the other problem I came across is a lot of stuff we did a lot of like artsy stuff and went to a few museums and a few things like that. Mm-hmm. But you couldn't record in there. You weren't allowed.
Oh, you're just not allowed.
Yeah, so that stuff kind of just got lost.
Yeah.
So we're getting to our last few minutes here now, but we'll see. We'll see what we can squeeze in. One thing I wish I had in Spain was a drone.
Oh yeah, well, that's one thing that. So we've got so many things because we want to do. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
So we want to set up an entire company in reality and do some product stuff for people in terms of a whole media company. So we want to keep it fairly diverse in our offerings since we both do a lot of photography as well as videography. Main thing we want to get into though is doing like
promo videos,
promotional videos and stuff like that, right? Could be stuff for tourism and stuff like that, right?
And could locally, even though we're a small place, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
So much.
I mean, there's a lot of local companies.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of small local companies would.
Even our car dealerships here, like, have you seen some of the ads they're putting out now? Like, they're literally they're hilarious. Yeah. They're just like somebody grabbed a camera and was like, "Come on, boys, we're doing this."
Yeah.
But like, it's huge and it's getting bigger, and I think people are really starting to catch on.
A lot more companies are really starting to catch on to the fact that like we want to actually do some good stuff and like a little more production value. It doesn't even have to be anything that's huge in terms of like. It doesn't need to be hugely well written or anything, but as long as you have, it's well produced, your shots are smooth and stuff like that,
and you work well with the companies, and that turns into a long-term thing.
Yeah, that definitely can. Well, there's a guy that I know. I went to, I played sports with him growing up, and he recently actually started a media company, similar type thing. So he does mostly. I think really all he does is video stuff, but he's been like that. He's been working with a couple different car dealerships and stuff like that, doing some shoots with them. And it's something that will really work out, can definitely work out in the long term.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things is if we start now, in 10 years' time,
absolutely,
where are we going to be? So,
exactly.
Like, it might be bad and it might be hard, like a bit rough.
Well, this is what they call the grind.
Yeah, we are currently in the grind mode for sure.
Yeah.
But it's all about doing it and just getting the experience. And I was on the fence about going to school for this because I know it's not a guaranteed. Here's a job when you come out, and it is a lot more money. Like, I'm paying probably more for this 2-year program than I would for a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Like, I am, actually. I'm pretty sure.
I'm coming out of my degree with savings left over.
Yeah.
Like not just, like, I still have money, like, and don't have a loan. It's like, I still have savings for university
and you're
left over.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm done.
What happens with that?
That just goes into my personal bank.
Yeah.
That just goes into where the account where the interest is higher.
Yeah. We'll change that over to something better.
Well, I definitely did that.
Yeah. So this is going to be more expensive probably than what your schooling was for the 4 years or 5 years, really.
Yeah.
So, but the value I'll get out of it is...
It's huge.
It is. And I'll have something to show. I'll have a little more higher quality stuff. It'll push me to really get out and do just work and just get going.
And you make connections outside of here too.
And like the people who are teaching me are in the industry. And from what I've seen, like I was registered for a couple months ago when they first started, and I postponed it because of the trip and all the stuff that was going on. But I was reached out to by all my professors, and like it was amazing. It was big experience change from when I was in school and university here. Like you're on your own.
Well, in university, I mean, you go to MUN. MUN is like 15,000 undergrad students.
Yeah,
just undergrads. Like it's crazy. So,
and then everybody else on top of that, and like it was challenging.
Yeah.
So, but
it's really different than anything else.
But yeah, so that's where we're going. Hopefully, this is a big step up in our quality.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's just going to continue to go from
there. I guess in reality, this podcast is more of an update kind of podcast.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we're talking about some kit. I mean, we can go into detail about what we set up and how we
for sure. I mean, I'm sure we'll have some insight after this is all done, so that'll be a topic for the future.
Yeah, I mean, this could go like what I had planned out. It could go to shit, but who knows? We'll see. All right. Well, I think that's probably about all we have time for today.
I think you're about right.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks for tuning in to podcast.
Thanks for listening or watching.
Yeah. I highly suggest watching.
Watching is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to watch a podcast, But sometimes, you just can't.
Yeah.
Because the time you get to listen to podcasts is somewhere
you YouTube Premium, you can listen to it through YouTube. But YouTube's hopefully where we'll have our biggest community, I think. Maybe the easiest place for everybody to interact and stuff. But
definitely.
We'll get there. So, awesome. Good stuff.